My love diary with my crush got picked up by the most popular guy in school. In a crowded classroom, he loudly read out the diary's details. Little L looked so good in a white shirt. Without it, even better. The room erupted with laughter. Everyone said I was Lily's dream guy. But Lily and I had been secretly dating for a year already. Lily was sitting nearby, giving me a look of pure disgust. She told me to stop writing stuff that grossed her out. I was about to confront her. The next second, though, someone linked arms with me. The boldest girl in school suddenly appeared behind me, glaring fiercely at the popular guy. Is she the only one named Lily with a name starting with L? My boyfriend's diary isn't for you to read. I heard laughter coming from the classroom even before I stepped in. Sam, the popular guy, was standing at the podium with a diary in hand, reading it out dramatically. Today, little L confessed to me. When she blushed and said she liked me, I felt like I was dreaming. Little L looks so good in a white shirt. Sure, looks better without it. The room burst into laughter. A white shirt? That little L has to be Lily. She loves white shirts. Gross, I'm gonna puke. Everyone knows Lily is Sam's girlfriend. Where's this dream guy from? Seriously, a toad wanting to eat swan meat. Sam ignored them, continuing to read the next section. I snuck a kiss while little L was asleep. She wouldn't know, right? The laughter got even louder. Such a creep. Dreaming about kissing Lily. I gotta puke. I already did puke. Who dreams about someone else's girlfriend? After the laughter, someone asked, Sam, who's the owner of the diary? Sam's gaze passed through the crowd, landing on me as I walked into the classroom. It was full of sarcasm and provocation, but he quickly moved on. Don't ask me, I found this by accident. Wouldn't have peeked if I hadn't seen little L. People reassured him, saying it's no big deal to look. Sam's so nice. Even when someone's fantasizing about his girlfriend, he's still defending them. Why shouldn't he read it? Writing such gross stuff, it's obviously meant for others to see. Who is he? I'm dying to know, want to turn him into a meme. Then Lily, who had been silent, took the diary. Without a glance, she tossed it into the trash. If it's disgusting, don't look. It'll just stain your eyes. She must have recognized the notebook. We bought it together at a bookstore when we just got together. Even knowing it was mine, she stood behind Sam. Not once did she look at me, as if I were just a stranger standing at the classroom door. Just days ago, she was holding me, saying sweet nothings. Now she seemed desperate to distance herself from me. It all clicked. Lily had started dating Sam without breaking up with me. When Sam transferred to our class, he was handsome and charming. Every girl tried to catch his attention. Lily always scoffed at it. A candy was her first impression of Sam. Later, I asked her why she didn't like guys like Sam and instead chose plain old me. She playfully tapped my nose. That type of guy plays around. Who knows how many he's dated secretly? Gross. I wouldn't like him. Our secret relationship was unknown to anyone. Lily wanted to keep it low-key a year ago, so we started a secret romance. I found out just now. The day she started with Sam, she announced it openly. Of course, she blocked me from the post. That's when I realized, a real relationship isn't hidden. The hidden ones are affairs. Sam's gaze circled before finally settling on me. He suddenly got teary-eyed, almost crying, shouting across the crowded classroom. Sorry, Jackson. I didn't know I picked up your diary. Didn't know it was that kind of stuff. The room buzzed with whispers. All eyes were on me. So it's Jackson, wow, didn't see that coming. Yeah, he seems so pure normally, didn't expect him to be like that. Sure, heard he buys lots of stuff like Lily's. I heard they're neighbors, knew each other since kids. So, been eyeing her from way back. Someone saw Jackson following Lily into the alley behind school. Damn, he's creeping on her. So gross. Mocking comments flew from all sides. I looked over at Lily, standing aside, watching coldly. Don't you have anything to say? Lily frowned, shielding Sam as she distanced herself from me. Jackson, if I did anything that gave you the wrong idea, I'm sorry. Even though we've known each other since childhood, I've always seen you as my little brother. Please stop writing those thoughts down. It upsets my boyfriend. She hesitated, then added, I'll say it one last time. I'll never like you. I've always liked Sam. With that, she wrapped an arm around Sam. They looked like a perfect couple, as if I were the villain scheming against their love. I was completely disappointed, feeling my gut churn. I was about to confront her. Suddenly, a person jumped in, linking arms with me. A familiar scent of cedar hit my nose. Surprised looks came from all around. I turned to see. It was Lisa, the mercurial girl rumored around school. Lisa stood there with a smirk and a challenging gaze. What's your problem? Is Lily the only L in school? Someone in the crowd gasped. Yeah, what about Lisa? My boyfriend's diary isn't for you to read. You seem really interested in our love life. Huh? What, wanna hide under our bed and listen at night? She glanced at Lily, her sarcasm sharp. No dream guy here, only you dreaming my boyfriend likes you. Go check yourself in a mirror. Lily was left speechless. Her gaze fell on Lisa's arm wrapped around mine. She bit her lip hard, taking a while before forcing out, when did you two get together? It wasn't clear who she asked, Lisa or me, but I answered first. The day written on the first page of the diary. So the person you secretly kissed was her? I nodded. No need to sneak a kiss now. After I said this, Lily's expression worsened. Took her a few minutes to whisper, impossible, you can't be together. Lisa looked annoyed. What, need me to prove it? I nudged Lisa's jacket, signaling to stop. I knew we couldn't prove it. More words would uncover our bluff. Lisa, though, reassured me with calmness. Remember the first page you read? Where little L confessed. With one arm around me, her other retrieved a neatly folded letter from her pocket. The handwriting was rough but bold. It was definitely Lisa's. See this? That's the love letter I used when I confessed my feelings. Jackson asked to keep it as a memory, so I never threw it away. She shifted her tone, looking sharp. Does Lily want to hear the contents of our love letter? Lily blushed with embarrassment. Impossible, back then he clearly... Sam, standing nearby, was confused and teased. Lily, clearly what? Did you really date Jackson? Lily seemed deflated. No way, how could I have dated him? I was mistaken. Saying that, she grabbed Sam and attempted to leave. Hold it right there. Lisa pointed a finger at her. Did I say you could leave? Lily was annoyed. What else do you want? Lisa, with a stern face, replied, apologize to my boyfriend. Sam was amused. Apologize? For what? He wrote some blurry diary entry with just little L. Who knows who that is? It was a misunderstanding when I accidentally picked it up. So how is that my fault? Lisa shot back. Did you pick it up or steal it? Don't you have a clue? Lisa gestured to the surveillance camera above them. Don't want this to get bigger, do you? Better apologize quickly. Lisa doesn't have a great reputation at our school. Her family has some connections with the school board. If she says she can check the surveillance, she's not joking. Lily mulled over it for a moment, picked my diary up from the trash. Sam didn't mean it, is it necessary? I looked at her coldly. It is very necessary. Jackson, don't go too far. Lisa fiercely protected me. Try saying something about my boyfriend again? She finally bit her lip, bending 90 degrees, and apologized to me. I've apologized, please spare Sam. In the quiet, empty equipment room, I gently pushed Lisa aside. Sorry for the trouble. Thanks for helping me out. She had just now helped me out of a bind. Even lying together by pretending someone else's love letter was one she'd written to me. She really was incredible. Not at all like the rumors suggested. Time seemed to stand still at that moment. For some reason, my heart started fluttering wildly, as if I needed to quickly escape. I'll post soon saying you broke up with me. That way, no one will keep misunderstanding us. Anyway, I'm really grateful for today. Made you lie with me. Really caused you trouble. Lying? Lisa stepped forward, backing me into a corner. I never lie. That's an unsent love letter from Lisa. Half a year ago, Lisa spent a whole month researching and refining countless versions from various relationship bloggers to write this love letter. She calculated tarot cards, and once even found a good date with a master, preparing everything for her first confession of love. As it happened, The boy she liked turned and held someone else's hand before she could say a word. She experienced a breakup, a relationship that never even started. I, troubled, clutching the letter, felt like I was dreaming. Just as I walked downstairs in a daze, I heard the sound of glass breaking coming from home. Along with it, my dad's roaring and my mom's sobbing. Scenes like this played out before me every day. I didn't go upstairs, just sat on a step waiting for them to finish arguing before tidying up the battlefield. The hallway lights went off and on and off. When they lit up again, a shadow appeared behind me. Lily leaned against the railing. Want to hang out on the rooftop for a bit? Lily and I are neighbors. She lives upstairs from me. For years, my parents always fought, smashing and breaking things like it was nothing. As a kid, their fights would often involve me somehow. Out of nowhere, they'd drag me out of my room for a beating, and after, just toss me outside like garbage. I lost track of how many nights I spent sleeping at the door, until one time, a small hand poked me awake. Little Lily squatted there, tilting her head. Do you want to come over for ice cream? I once thought she was my savior, the light pulling me out of the mud. But this time, when she asked if I wanted to go up to her roof, I realized something. It was never really her pulling me out of the mud. It was me doing it all along. Just like in Lisa's letter. Jackson, please open your eyes and see yourself. You'll find you're shining. No need, my parents are getting a divorce. They won't bother you guys anymore. We'll be moving soon. Lily froze under the shadow. Are you still mad about today's ordeal? I wasn't mad, just felt a bit grossed out. I'm sorry, Jackson, I was just messing around with him. You know, I don't like Sam's type. Lily stepped forward. We've known each other since we were kids, and we're so familiar, hugging you feels like hugging myself. I just wanted to feel what love is like. I wanted to see how dating someone else feels different from being with you. Never thought I'd live to see someone justify cheating like this. I got up to go home. Lily took another step to block me. Don't be mad. Today was my fault. But you were all close with Lisa, so confrontational, you've got some blame too. Even if Sam read your diary on purpose, if you hadn't written that stuff, none of this would have happened. I always said to keep a low profile, don't mess with things. You see how embarrassing it is now that it's discovered. And those things to spite me, I'd never take them seriously. I know you like me. The old me would have been manipulated by just a few sentences from her. I'd have doubted myself, fallen into the trap of proving everything was my fault for writing those diaries in private. But now I just think she has issues. I gave her a sidelong glance. Not in spite. I'm really with her now. Don't joke. Anyone you're dating. I'd know. I didn't dodge her evaluative gaze. Only you can have a hidden relationship? I can't? Lily, this is what I've learned from you. Wasn't it you who taught me? Keep romance low profile, otherwise if family, school, your parents, my parents find out, won't be good. What's wrong? Doesn't feel nice being cheated on. Does it? Her arms paused mid-embrace. Jackson, stop kidding, you couldn't possibly like someone like her. I smirked. Even the worst wouldn't speak ill behind a boy's back. Even the worst wouldn't two-time someone. I stood on the step, looking down at her. I've been with Lisa for quite some time now, Lily. You're the one who's been kept in the dark. Lily stared at me in disbelief. So, your diary was about her all along? I raised an eyebrow. Who else did you think it was about? You? Get real. I lied. The diary was indeed about Lily. I may have loved her or maybe not. I couldn't tell if it was love or if I saw her as my lifeline. During those dark days, she melted my heart with just an ice cream. I foolishly mistook those feelings for love. By writing in the diary, I convinced myself that the pity she offered was love. It wasn't until today that I realized I was wrong. It wasn't love at all. As I reached the door, the iron gate swung open with a bang. A bottle hit the ground at my feet. My dad was babbling, drunk. Hanging out on the street instead of coming home after school? Look at the time. You're just like your low-life mom. Get your ass back here. Lily sighed. Your dad's been drinking again. I'll tell him you're doing homework at my place. But just then, her phone went off in her pocket. In a fluster, she put it on speaker. Lily, you said you'd pick me up after my piano class. It's over now, and you're nowhere to be found. Lily's face turned a bit sour. Today. You're not with that neighbor of yours, are you? No way. She glanced at me nervously and said she'd be right there before hanging up. She gave me an awkward look. Sorry, I promised Sam today. What's that got to do with me? Before she could finish, I walked into the house without looking back. Half the stuff inside was smashed. Dad was surrounded by bottles as Mom hid in the room, crying. The place was a wreck. I grabbed a broom and started sweeping up the mess. Maybe my calmness ticked him off. Dad suddenly stormed towards me like a madman. He grabbed my hair and slapped my face. If it weren't for you, I wouldn't have married your mother. I've been supporting her for over 20 years. Now she's got the nerve to talk divorce. I'll say it again. Anyone who dares divorce me, I'll kill them. His mouth opened and closed, the smell of alcohol thick. As a child, I was terrified when he hit me. Whenever he grabbed me, I'd tremble head to toe. But today, something felt different. I felt strong. For the first time, I looked him in the eye. Go ahead, kill me first, then her, and then you'll be executed. We can all die together as a family. He pressed a lit cigarette butt against my back. Talking back. Are you? I'll beat you to death. He freed a hand and picked up a clothes rack. It was about to hit me. This time, I chose to fight back. I grabbed a nearby bottle. With a crash, it shattered over his head. In the police station, Mom cried, urging me to apologize. Jackson, just forgive your dad this once. Parents hit their kids sometimes. You can't report it to the police every time. It's such a hassle for others. Your dad was just drunk. Let's go home. I won't divorce him. We'll live together as a family. She pulled me aside. If your dad ends up in detention, how will you get married in the future? Everyone will know your father went to jail. What then? Jackson, I'm doing this for you. I brushed the hair from Mom's forehead. He's hit you so badly, and you're still defending him? She covered her wound. Embarrassed. No, I fell. Hopeless. Lisa stepped in with a medical report. Aunt, Jackson has a dozen wounds, new and old. All from his drunk rages? You buy anti-inflammatories monthly, that's not from just falling, right? She tossed a stack of files onto the table. Here are records of his gambling, drinking, domestic violence, and other misconduct. Plenty for several years' worth of charges. The police station's glass door swung open with a cold gust. Lily hurried in, looking anxious. Jackson, are you okay? My mom told me your family's at the station. How did it come to this? She looked at the bruises on my face with concern. He hit you again. Come with me. I'll take you home. Before Lily's hand could reach me, Lisa swatted it away. You have a knack for timing, don't you? Swooping in like a savior? Lily turned pale. I don't understand what you're saying. Lisa sneered. Your family lives right above his apartment. Didn't you notice whenever Jackson was beaten? You show up afterward, give him some bandages, some ointment, and feel all noble. Have you read too much salvation fiction? You could have called the police. You had so many chances to stop it. Why didn't you? Because you're afraid of Jackson's dad's retaliation. Because you're a coward. Lily raised a hand, thinking to slap Lisa, then remembered they were at the police station and let it down. She stared at Lisa deeply. You're no better than me. Then she turned and vanished into the night, leaving 2 new officers chatting at the door. This kid reported abuse 8 times in 6 months. Finally getting that domestic abuser arrested. Right? Without concrete evidence before, it was just domestic disputes. No impact, just warnings, maybe 2 days detention, not much use, plus his mom always signed leniency agreements. It's rough. Their building loses power so often, it turns out someone cut the electricity regularly. No proof, but I bet that girl's involved. Actually, my dad hadn't hit me for a while. Whenever he got drunk and disorderly, we'd have mysterious power cuts. And he'd be called to the police station for re-education. I always thought it was Lily subtly helping us. Turns out, the one protecting me was Lisa? In the black Maybach, Lisa punched a plush penguin. Did she really imply I'm like her? Me the same as her? If I wasn't afraid of scaring Jackson, I would have dunked on the spot. The driver looked at me with a cold glare. Miss, do you want me to take care of her? Lisa shook her head. Forget it, She's still Jackson's dad after all. She pulled back her fist and fixed her wild hair. Jackson doesn't like violence, and he hates fighting even more. Finals are coming up, and I don't want to make a scene and mess up his exams. The driver in the front seat watched as Lisa freaked out in the rearview mirror. Why not just tell Jackson? Tell him how you've been quietly gathering evidence all this time, waiting for a chance to throw his dad in prison. Tell him every time he blacked out when he got beaten, it's because you cut the power, and that his dad landed in the hospital every now and then because you sent people to persuade him. You even called the cops a few times, even if his mom managed to talk them out of it, right? You really did a lot for him, just quietly, he said. Lisa squirmed a bit. These things are uncomfortable to bring up. Actually, she was blaming herself, wondering why she didn't see earlier that Jackson never really liked Lily. He just saw Lily as a lifeline. Now, Jackson's finally free of that. But it seems maybe he doesn't need a lifeline anymore. The next morning, to my surprise, Lily was waiting downstairs for me. She used to avoid spending any time with me directly. Once out of sight, she'd pretend she didn't know me. But now, she stood eagerly by the stairs, waiting just for me. I ignored her and headed straight for the bus stop. She quickly caught up. Jackson, how's Annie doing? My mom wanted me to ask, she said. Tell your mom thanks for asking. Sensing my cold tone, she handed me some breakfast. You didn't eat yet, right? This is for you. I stopped in my tracks. Lily, a lot of classmates live nearby. She paused for a second. Yeah, so? Aren't you worried about being seen? You used to make me wait at the entrance until you could leave separately. What's with the change now? I was just your neighbor nobody should see, right? Her instinctive reaction only chilled me. Noticing my discomfort, she quickly changed the subject. Lisa, she just had your dad put in jail. He's still your dad, no matter what. I don't get how she could do that. If your dad goes to prison, it might ruin your plans to run for office later, you know? And it's not just you, it could affect your kids, too. We're barely clinging to life here, she continued, and you're worrying about politics? I didn't reply, so Lily kept on. Plus, that person used their money to track your dad's whereabouts. Isn't that illegal? Who goes to such lengths to please you? I stopped. Drinking, gambling, cheating, domestic abuse, those are the real crimes. But he's your father. Having a dad like that kept you calm. Huh? My tone must have been harsh because Lily stepped back. She just looked at me quietly. Jackson, you've changed. Yeah, I had. I changed to the point she couldn't manipulate me anymore. Just then, a sleek black car pulled up beside me. The passenger window rolled down slowly and Lisa peeked out. Hurry up and get in. I said I'd drive you to school today. Didn't I? Look at me, right on time. She glanced at the breakfast in Lily's hands. Pointing inside her car, she said, I brought some Michelin star breakfast, and it's still warm. Come on, let's eat together. Lily's face turned as dark as the car's interior. But once I was in the classroom, I found she had placed breakfast on Sam's desk, too. She'd gotten McDonald's this time, which was more expensive, apparently. The breakfast I didn't want was tossed into the trash can by the classroom door. Even sitting in Lisa's fancy Maybach, we got photographed. Someone anonymously commented on it. Wow, a total Cinderella story. An alcoholic dad, a pathetic mom, and a pitiful him. He used to be into Lily but now found someone even richer. Lisa replied below, yeah, I'm the one who went after him. Thanks. And as for that person talking smack about parents, didn't your dad just have a love child last month? Maybe manage your own mess first. I can handle being called a social climber, but say that last part again and see what happens. By the way, thanks for the well wishes, we'll stay together forever. Lisa was as good as her word. After her comments, no one dared to spread rumors about me on the school forums anymore. Every class change, she would stroll through the crowd, out of the international class just to chat with me in the hallway. I'd urge her to get back to her class, but she just leaned in close to my ear. If we're going to pretend, let's do it properly. There are so many eyes on us, you know? Yeah. I could feel it. There was a particularly icy stare boring into my back. Lily was there, clenching her jaw, her expression growing more bizarre. After lunch, returning to the classroom, I heard Sam grumbling about a missing watch. Oh man, the watch my mom bought me is gone. I took it off for gym class and left it in my drawer. When I came back, it was just gone. As he spoke, he casually glanced my way. No surprise. Next, he'll probably accuse me of taking it. Ignoring him, I continued sorting through my books. But when I picked up a workbook, a watch fell out. Sam noticed immediately and came over with a knowing grin. Jackson, if you wanted it so bad, I could have got you the same one myself. But this is from my mom for my 18th birthday. It was such a clumsy setup. I glanced at the rear classroom camera. I didn't take it. Let's call the cops and check the cameras. That's enough. Lily suddenly appeared behind Sam. You know the cameras are broken, what's the point of checking them? I was caught off guard. So Sam had known all along that the cameras weren't working, and staged all this? Sure enough, the whispers began among classmates. Once a crow, always a crow, no matter the company. Look at him trying to cloud the truth, knowing full well there are no cameras. With a rich girlfriend but still needs to steal? Leopards and their spots. I kept a straight face. I didn't do it. Fine, call the cops, they can dust for prints. But then I saw Sam's smile creep up slightly. Wait, did he wipe his prints off before dumping it in my books? Baiting me to clear mine? For a moment, I couldn't defend myself. The people around me were getting harsher with their words. Just then, Lisa walked into our class like it was nothing. She held up the notebook with the watch clipped inside. This workbook belongs to my boyfriend. If I find someone else's fingerprints on it, care to explain why? The workbook was buried under several books. He would have touched several of them while sneaking in that watch. Sure enough, Lisa's words made Sam panic. He snatched the watch away. I just want an apology, but you want to call the police, Jackson? Why do you have to blow things up? Lily tried to be the peacemaker too. Just give the watch back to Sam, don't go too far. I'd heard this kind of talk too many times. Lisa was fed up. She made a call, and the campus security showed up right away. Sam was truly scared now. He grabbed my hand. Please don't call the police. My dad will kill me if he finds out. I'll never do it again. I'm sorry, Jackson. I'm sorry, Lisa. It's my fault. I swear I'll never do it again. If I get a record, there goes my art school audition. Seeing the situation, Lily finally got serious. Jackson, Sam just got confused for a moment. He didn't mean to frame you. Can you even unknowingly frame someone? Hilarious. I ignored them. Sam kept going on and on. I'm not a pushover anymore. I used to be a people pleaser, but now I believe in karma. The campus officers took the textbooks and Sam away. Peace at last. No matter how much Sam's dad tried to bribe them, the school refused to lessen the punishment. Eventually, Sam got expelled. I heard his art school application was canceled too. Lily never reached out to me again after that. We became strangers. Time went on at its own pace. There were no more rumors about me and Lisa at school, and no one gossiped about me and Lily anymore. Everyone was completely focused on the upcoming college entrance exam. The crucial 3 days finally passed. Pretty soon I got good news. I scored 689 on the exam, which meant I could apply to my dream university. While filling out college applications, I got a call from Lisa. Now that the exams are over, can I finally get a reply to my love letter? Honestly, I was really grateful to her. She always had my back. And she liked me. But I wasn't great. Someone liking me felt like a gift from fate. I was anxious, but I chose to follow my own heart. I wasn't interested in dating. Life is more than just love and relationships. There's a bigger world out there. So I turned her down directly. Thank you for liking me, and for waiting until after the exams to ask instead of pushing me. I really appreciate it, but that's all there is to it. Sorry, Lisa. A better guy is out there for you. What I didn't know was that the usually tough Lisa cried her heart out at home after hanging up. Leaning on her butler's shoulder, she sobbed, "Why doesn't he like me? Jackson doesn't even know I've been helping him all along. I was the one who called the cops, cut the power, and got those guys to beat up his dad. How can I let him know all I've done for him?" The butler advised, "But if you say it like that, it's gratitude, not love, miss. You can't guilt him into it." Right after I finished the college applications, there was a knock at the door. Lily stood outside, arms full of documents. Jackson, I came to help you choose your college. I didn't invite her in. I've already applied. Her eyes brightened. Is it C University? That was the school we agreed on together. Our grades are about the same, and you're 40 points higher than me. C University is a sure bet for you. It's close to home, so we can come back together too. Don't worry. I'll take good care of you, and no one will bully you again. I promise nothing like the Sam situation will happen again. I listened calmly, then told her just as calmly, I applied to a university. Hearing that, Lily was stunned. Didn't we agree to go to C University? I didn't turn back. That was then. Once I got my acceptance letter, I left for the southern city right away. Mom finally regained her strength too. She sold our old house and bought a smaller 2-bedroom apartment. While moving out, the new owner asked if we wanted to keep anything. I didn't even think about it. Nope, just throw it all away. Later that night, as Lily was taking out the trash, she saw something familiar in the dumpster outside. A diary Sam had once found. Jackson said it was filled with memories of him and Lisa. She had no intention of reading it, but curiosity got the better of her. She secretly picked it up and took it home. Inside, she found words of gratitude for little L, who always appeared when his dad hit him. He wrote, "Little L is probably the only opposite-sex person who's good to me in this world. But I feel like they don't really like me, always so secretive. Am I that unimpressive? Does dating me seem embarrassing? Well then, let me quietly be invisible. As long as little L doesn't give up on me, I'll be fine." Lily's hands shook as she clutched the diary. Jackson had lied to her. Every word in there was about her, not Lisa. Tears welled up in her eyes. Jackson had once, briefly, loved her. And during that time, she chose to betray him. Only now did Lily realize that the boy she grew up with was gone for good. Early October. The maples at a university were blazing red. After classes, I took a stroll around campus. In the distance, I saw someone standing behind an easel among the maples. She was sketching someone holding a leaf. Her eyes slanted upward, a bit feisty. But when she smiled, there were dimples. A mix of mischief and charm. A bit cute. She held up her brush. "Hey, Jackson. I'm Lisa from the art department. What a coincidence, huh? We meet again." Epilogue. When it came time to apply for colleges, Lisa pulled all her strings. Find out where Jackson applied, she demanded. In less than 10 minutes, the butler brought her the info. "It's a university," he said. Lisa opened her laptop, instructing the butler, "Sign me up for a university's art department." The butler hesitated, "But with your scores, you could get into a top art school abroad." Lisa gave a slight glance. "Why go so far? If I do well, I can become an artist here. If not, I can just come back and take over the family business. Dad would be happy." The butler thought for a moment and nodded. He agreed. Lisa was the only child. The entire family didn't want her moving away. As soon as she submitted her application, Lisa felt confident. This time, she wouldn't be just another admirer from the sidelines. Her quiet dedication only moved herself in the past. But from now on, everything she did for Jackson, he'd know about. Every word she'd wanted to say, she'd say directly to Jackson. She believed both she and Jackson had a bright future ahead. Back when Lily decided not to apply to C University, she went home, thought about it, and secretly changed her application. But her scores weren't enough, so she ended up at a regular private school in the southern city, with an ordinary major and an ordinary life. Yet she didn't mind, as long as she could be in the same city as Jackson. She believed there'd be opportunities. After settling in at her new school, she hurried to visit Jackson's school, only to see a flashy Cullinan parked in front. Lisa looked even prettier than back in high school. She had the car parked at the school gate, posing by it. Soon, a boy walked out of the gate. Lily couldn't mistake that figure. It was Jackson, whom she'd known for over a decade. He wasn't the shy kid anymore. He was open and confident now. Jackson jogged up to Lisa and said, "Next time, don't bring such a flashy car here. It's too much." Watching them together like that, so perfectly matched, Lily felt like a mouse hiding in the shadows. Her heart sank. It seemed she'd lost him forever.